Hello and welcome everyone to another special English accent lesson with another special guest star. I seem to have a lot, don't I, these days? Today, in a moment, I will introduce my special guest. We are going to do some conversation practice for you. My guest is from England like me, and I hope that this will be a chance for you to improve your conversation comprehension and listening. To help you, I'm going to try to transcribe a few notes, so you can find anything in the YouTube description or below the video on the other websites. I will try to put some notes. I won't be able to do everything, but please check it out down there to help you out. So let's get cracking then. Let me introduce my special guest for today, my brother Robert. Hello, Robert.
Oh, yeah.
How are you?
I'm good. Excellent. Thank you very much.
I'm glad to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
So today we have a few things to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Just to let the people hear your accent too. So
my lovely English accent.
Something first I want to discuss with you is about your name. Your full name is Robert, but there are different ways to call you.
Oh yeah.
Rob, Bob, or Bobby. Which do you prefer?
I prefer the first one, Rob. But I know you like to call me Bobby, but that's fine. That's cool. I don't mind.
All right. So
no one gets hurt.
There are different ways to shorten Robert's name. You can see them in the description. So Robert, Rob, Bobby.
Rob, please.
Tell us.
Rob.
Okay. Tell us something about yourself. A bit of introduction.
Yes. I'm 22. I've been living in the countryside all my life, pretty much, except for the past 4 years, where I've gone to Cardiff University.
Okay.
To study biochemistry of all things.
So you mentioned the countryside, and the countryside for us is Wiltshire.
That's right.
Do you want to mention something about our village? Describe it very briefly.
It's very picturesque. It's very peaceful. Lots of lovely animals. If you're into animals, I know I am. And of course, everyone there is very friendly. Every morning, you just say hello to whoever you meet at the bus stop.
Yeah. So the countryside means a village or a town,
Mm-hmm.
not in a city. So around our village, there are fields and farms and animals, as Robert suggested. Rob, so. Okay, let's move on then. Tell us a bit about your course at university. What do you study?
Yes, I study biochemistry, which basically involves any and all things involving cellular life and the molecular interactions thereof. Okay,
so let's make it a bit simpler. This is a kind of science, and
yes, science, yeah, mainly.
All right.
So it mainly involves proteins, fats, and carbohydrates, and how they come together and are used in your cellular life within yourself.
Okay. And so you are studying that at Cardiff University?
That's very right.
How's Cardiff for you?
Lovely.
Yeah, we've both studied there as well, and Cardiff University, we would recommend it, I think, yeah, to other people if you want to study in the UK. Cardiff University is a nice place to study.
Very reputable.
All right, so you've just started a new job. Congratulations on that.
Thank you very much.
Please tell us something about it. A few details will be fine.
Goodness. Well, the company itself specialises in analysing food products to determine whether they contain any nasty bugs. So, stuff you get from the supermarket, like salad bags, stuff like that. We test them for kind of listeria, E. coli poisoning, just to make sure no one gets anything nasty.
So what that's about is it's checking that food for supermarkets is healthy and that it won't make people sick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we've heard a bit about you. Thank you for that. I wanted to discuss the weather. There is a stereotype that British people like to talk about the weather. I think this is true. Rob might disagree, but
you're kidding, it's my favourite subject.
Let's talk about this summer. The weather has been particularly interesting and worthy of conversation. So how's it been?
Up and down, really. You get a cloud, you get a bit of rain, and then the next day it's just you're baking your ass off.
that means that
I mean,
that
yeah,
expression means that you're very hot.
uncomfortably warm. You
Uncomfortably
might say.
warm, yes.
Us Brits can only survive within a certain temperature range.
So the problem is in Britain, the reason why the weather is a topic of conversation is that one day it is uncomfortably warm, and another day it can be a bit nippy or chilly, which means quite cold.
Oh yes.
Even in the
Especially
summer.
on the elbows.
Especially the elbows can feel cold.
Yeah.
And this has been the case this year. One day it's quite hot, another day it is really quite cold. So it's a bit of a mystery, really. All right. I'm very happy that we discussed the weather. Rob really loves reading.
Oh yes.
And
all the time.
So what books do you normally like to read?
Generally, almost pretty much exclusively science fiction for the most part.
Okay. Well, what are some of your favourite books?
Oh goodness, my ultimate favourite book is Dune by Frank Herbert. Yes.
Amen.
Even tops Lord of the Rings. Ooh, in my opinion, it's excellent. Just for the sheer amount of imagination which is in these books, pretty much.
Okay.
It's really incredible.
Okay. Any others?
Also, the Tales of the Dying Earth by Jack Vance. That's a very good collection of books there. Also, the Book of the New Sun by Gene Wolfe. That's a very good collection of books.
I want to mention one, the Dark Materials trilogy by Philip Pullman.
Oh yes, excellent.
This one is quite famous. It's relatively modern, and yeah, we love that one.
Oh yes.
So, and you're reading a book right now. I've seen you.
Oh yes.
Let me hand it to you. Describe this book, what it's about.
This book is called Stand on Zanzibar by John and Bruno. Oh wait,
show it to the people. The people want to see it. Oh dear. This is not product placement. We are just describing a book which Robert happens to be reading. This is all.
That's right. Well, if you've read 1984 or Brave New World, you have an idea. It's based in a similar kind of thing. So it discusses, well, it was written in 1969, and it discusses kind of a future world where everything's pretty much different, but in terms of it has a very good sense of humour. And
a bit funny, you mean?
Oh yes, it's quite very funny in places. Humorous.
Like us. Okay.
Yeah, we're prime examples.
So to go back quickly, 1984 is a very famous book by George Orwell. That one is one of the classics in English. So yes, that was interesting. Thank you for telling us about that, Robert. And you love to read. I see you reading all the time. How important is reading for you in helping you with your English as a native speaker?
Very important, really. You just to learn phrases, new words, different meanings. It's quite incredible, really. And especially in the different contexts used in science fiction itself, you do learn a lot about the English languages.
Yeah, I think that reading is maybe one of the best ways to improve your language. Obviously, your English has to be quite strong if you are able to read these kind of books, but if you can, then reading is really beneficial, we think, and that is one piece of advice. So, Rob, finally, do you have any other advice for people out there trying to learn English that you can think of?
It depends, well, like with many things, it depends on how you preferably like to learn. Myself, it's videos like this, audio and the visual cues and whatnot, which are very, very helpful and good indeed.
Watching movies, films? Exactly,
yes, and reading books as well, very good. And just discussing with others is very important. All other learners of English language.
Share ideas and advice. Also, don't forget about the radio. You can always listen to the radio on the internet now. Search for English radio. I'm sure you can listen to it in your own countries. Give it a try. Robbie, is there anything else that you would like to discuss today?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. Well, I think we'll leave it there if that's all right. A big thank you to Rob for joining today. I really appreciate it, and I hope that this has proved very useful to anyone who's watching. Another reminder, please, to see the websites that I will put in the description or below the video, to the YouTube channel for all the other videos I've made, the Facebook group, the Twitter account, and other things. You are welcome to use all of them, as always. So a big thank you to everyone for watching. Rob, again, Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Personally, I will see everyone next time. So goodbye from me and Rob for today. Bye-bye.